I want to make a couple of comments in regards to the comments that were made by the Minister of Natural Resources. I think there's nobody that disagrees that we need to have a method of being able to do better work when it comes to planning in the far north, and we're talking north of 51. And we also agree, and I've been championing for years, the whole issue of making sure that First Nations are in the driver's seat. But what was remarkable today was who wasn't there at that announcement this morning. Anishinaabe Nation, who are the forerunner, who are the people at the forefront of this particular debate, were not at the press conference for a very simple reason. You haven't got the bill right yet. Is it an attempt to go in the right direction? Absolutely. Are you trying to do the right thing? We certainly hope so. But it tells me that we have a fair amount of work yet to be done in order to deal satisfactorily with the issues that First Nations have raised, that mining communities have raised, and others. In the bill, I think we're going to have to deal with a couple of issues. The first being is that we need to make sure that, in fact, that the First Nations are felt as if they are in the driver's seat, that they do have a control about what happens. We're going to have some sort of a system that is transparent enough so that allows mining development and others to continue as we go through this process, so that we don't end up throwing a blanket across the north of 51 territory, making it difficult for development to go forward. I would argue that if we don't do this right, we may not end up seeing other mines like De Beers establish themselves on the far north. And you know as well as I do, Minister, they want to protect the environment, number one. There's no question. That's what First Nations want. That's what we want. That's what you want. That's what the environmental movement wants. But they also want economic development, and we need to make sure that that happens. The other thing is we're going to have to make sure that we fund at least at about $20 million a year the money necessary so that they can have the dollars to do the work that has to be done to develop the capacity to make this legislation work. We look forward to full consultations on this bill.